Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You have control of this. This belongs to you. This is yours. You're the captain. You're the master. You're the foreman. You're the general. You're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody. Get off of Instagram, Snap. Get off all these blogs. Get into something that can really, really move your life forward. Listen, getting successful, it's not a magic trick. You can decide to be rich. It's highly doable. But you first have to think it. The difference between successful people and non-successful people is here. I'm no better than none of y'all. If you want to be successful, you have to change this. This has to change. Listen to me. It's not what makes it hard is your lack of belief that it can happen for you. The fact of it is, though, it's very doable. See, what you got to change, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change something. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter what your children think. It don't matter. They have nothing to do with it. This decision is yours and yours alone. Let me tell you something. You get to decide if I'm going to be rich, poor, mediocre, plentiful, happy, sad. You have a decision to make. It's really not important what the majority of people that are blogging are saying. As a matter of fact, bloggers are not relevant people, they're not shakers and movers, and they're not decision makers, and they're not power brokers. So when you spend so much time in the blog world, the Instagram world, the chat world, all of this, you're wasting valuable time. If I was young and I had what you have, and you're the brightest group of young people that have come along in a long time, millennials are absolutely brilliant because you all have technology. I had no technology growing up, nothing. You couldn't download a book. You had to go to the library, go to the card catalog, pull it open, find the book, find the number, go get on the elevator, go to the row, find the number book, get the book, and hope somebody ain't told a page out that you want to read. That's what it used to be. When my mom and them finally got the money together to help us educate ourselves, they bought an encyclopedia set, Britannica, Funkin' Wagon, and everything you wanted to know was in that encyclopedia, and that's all you could know. If you want to look up something about elephant, and they had 2 pages on elephants, that was what y'all knew about an elephant. Y'all got Google. You can Google anything. You all have stuff at your fingertips that can make you great. But if you could combine your technology with your parents and your grandparents' work ethic, your could be rich. You could be rich, man. But you cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You got to take the stairs. Y'all got to start getting gritty, man. I hate it when I see young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology got, just sitting around in this world that's been created for you that everything is instant. I was arguing with my son the other day. We're having a debate. I thought, man, I'm finally sitting with one of my sons having a healthy debate. I told him that from Cleveland to Nashville was about 500 40 miles, something like that. He Googles it while we're talking. He said, no, Dad, you're wrong. It's 526 miles. I said 540. It's amazing, man, how you rely on technology, and it's a help to you. But young people, you got to get gritty, man. You got to develop some dog in you. You got to understand that success, you can't Google success. Go Google it. You can't Google it, man. I got something else for you. Because I've lived so long and I've been exposed to so many things. I've seen stuff hopefully you'll never see. And I've seen some things I hope one day you do see. But go Google exposure. It ain't gonna take you nowhere. I've been around the world, man, because I've traveled. But I traveled it because I've made myself uncomfortable. I have a life of convenience now. But in order to get the life of convenience, you got to have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop trying to do everything the short way. Stop trying to figure out the easy way, because it ain't gonna happen. I got news for you, man. It's not happening, young people. You got to get messed up sometime. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. You're going to ask somebody for some money. He going to tell you no. But at least then, when I see somebody trying and I tell them no, I try to at least give them something else. See, I'm not going to hand you a fish sandwich. I'll teach you how to fish. But I'm not giving you the fish sandwich. You can forget that. Once you get this, y'all, you can change everything. Do you understand? Negativity, you can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative, because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm going to show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping. I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop. Just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have. Because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. But the fact that you can walk, that's a blessing. The fact that you woke up, that's another blessing. The fact that you can see, think, reason, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go somewhere and get yourself something to eat, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go and turn the key and call someplace home, that's another blessing. The ability to dream is a blessing. The fact that you have an opportunity to get it right is another blessing. And I'm just talking to you, I don't even know you. I could give you 50 things you ought to be grateful for right now. I don't even know you. Start coating your mind with gratitude. It'll change everything for you. I became very aware of what it's like not to have a home. You know, a home, man, is important. No matter how small it is, no matter how bare or meager, at the end of the day, you have the right to be able to say, I'm going home. And I don't care how funky of a day you had, man, if I could just get to my house, I don't care what it looked like. I don't care what the furniture looked like in there, but man, if I could just turn the key and shut the door and be in my house, that's just a moment of relief. I didn't have that. I wouldn't gotten me. Your car's not a home. And ain't no moving around. Once you get in the front seat, you're pretty much there. It was very, very difficult, man, but it put a determination in me too, because I was determined. I was determined to be something. Like, it was times in my car, man, I felt like quitting. I mean, I felt like giving up. Living in a car is not a simple task, you know. But I just, you know, some days I just said, man, God, I hope something happens. If you could just go to bed and just wake up tomorrow. Every time you wake up, that's a sign from God that he ain't through with you yet. See, that right there, as long as you waking up, he's saying to you, I ain't through with you yet. He's just waiting on you to turn and see what it is. But you gotta turn to God, because he gives us choice. You know, you gotta turn to him. You gotta ask for help. Like if you can't figure your life out, you gotta ask God, why did you create me? You just need two most important days of your life: the day you're born, the day you figure out why. You just gotta ask God why. If you can just keep believing, when nothing in you is working, when all your external forces have given way, if you can just manage to somehow keep hoping, just hope. You ain't even really got to believe. All you got to do is hope. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You just got to hope. Sometimes you ain't strong enough to believe, but you can always be strong enough to just hope. And I hope God come get me. I hope I make it. See, when they tell you, when you read the scripture and they say faith is the substance of things hoped for, what faith really is just hard hoping. And I just took that hope and just kept hope alive. If you can keep hoping, man, you have a chance. You just can't become hopeless. The devil is busy, man. The devil has one job. That's to rob you of your destiny. That's his only position in life. He don't care if you get money, car, a house. As long as he can rob you of your destiny, that's the devil's whole mission in life. He just want to rob. He just wants you to not be what God made you to be. But if you can remain hopeful in spite of all adversity. I was homeless, man. I mean, you know, you're in a position where you're going, I got nowhere to go except up. I might as well keep hustling. I was in comedy. I just wasn't making nothing. All the money I was making, I was sending back home to my wife and kids. That didn't last long. She got tired of that real fast. But I couldn't go back to Cleveland because I wouldn't have enough money to drive back down south to perform. One time I drove to the house in Cleveland. I finally got enough money. I drove to the house in Cleveland. Everybody was gone. I didn't see my kids for almost 2 years. I ain't see her, nothing. They just left, boarded up the house. So I said, okay, I ain't got nowhere to go. So next thing you know, I'm in the car. I lived there, but it taught me determination, man. I'm a really, really determined person. It also taught me that no matter what happens to you, it ain't over. What you did back there ain't got nothing to do with what God got for you. What you did back there was learn the lessons to get you to where you are at this particular moment right here. But what God got for you, do you know, man, that you can actually mess your life completely up? You can jack it all the way up and you can turn around and get it right. Identify your gift and get busy with it. The thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort, that's your gift. Get busy at that. If it's drawing, if it's teaching, if it's sharing, if it's caregiving, that's how you become successful. Pull yourself together and quit tripping because you in the process. First of all, let me tell you this right here. Why are you tripping? I look back on my life at all that I've been through. So the stuff I'm currently going through, I have built up enough reservoir that living in a car taught me that this ain't it. So the things I'm going through now, I know this ain't it. So all I got to do is sit tight. I ain't in a bad place. Now, I ain't where I want to be, but so what I'm going through right now, y'all don't know, I got some challenges. People think when you get famous or rich that your problems is over. Oh, they got a whole new set of them for you. They got some stuff you ain't seen. Biggie wrote a song said one time, more money, more problems. I got to tell you something, that boy wasn't never lying. But I'll tell you the truth right now. The problems I got right now, I'll take them.
Letting go of energy.
They're waiting on me, haters think they gaining on me. Sitting in purple rain and folding origami. Oracles surround me, each one more astounding. Still handle my biz, just got a channel climbing to the level. The damage I really can make is a trip. Doing figure eights, are you coming back now? But it's way too late. Just trying to be grateful, just trying to be great. Yeah, and one thing it taught me is this is the moment to get it. So have faith and don't hesitate. Where my bad girls at? From the front to the back, front to the front, to the front, to the front, to the front. But it work right now, Put it work, let me see, put it work. Put it work, let me see, put it work. Work. Put it work. Never land, never let my feet touch the floor. I just flow in my zone, you can't touch us though. Keep it moving, UFO, I just got to go. I can't touch the floor. Take that, break that with a bit.
That's clouding your vision and holding you back. It's a life practice that I learned long ago that has freed me, so many ways. It's a fact that holding grudges against somebody who's done you wrong or revisiting hurtful situations in your head over and over only weighs you down and prevents you from being who you're meant to be right now, because you're still energetically holding on to the past. The energy that you put into constantly rewinding to the resentment. Why did they do that? Why did they say that to me? I didn't deserve to be treated that way. All of that only keeps you stuck. It will never change what happened. You gotta press stop and reject the urge to keep replaying so that you can then fast forward into the now for yourself. You know, a lot of people think that holding on to things that disempowered them is going to somehow magically turn it around. As I said in my message a couple of weeks ago about forgiveness, you have to release the notion, give up the hope that the past could have been any different. And you also must release the idea that people would do what you might do in any given instance. This is a big one. I had to learn and relearn before I actually got it. Expecting people to do what you would do in a situation only leads to your disappointment, not theirs. They're going on with their life. So let people be who they are, and either you accept it or you don't. Not doing that keeps you stuck in a circumstance that actually costs you time, costs you energy. And I can guarantee that oftentimes the person on the other side of the bitterness you're holding on to, they're not even thinking about you. In fact, they probably have just moved on. They certainly aren't obsessing the way you are. Think of it like letting go of any bad habit that just doesn't serve your well-being. Not an easy task. Taking the road to a more enlightened, healthy existence never is. So this is what I want to ask you to ask yourself. Why am I holding on to this? How is this serving me? And really think about the answer. Maybe it makes you feel validated. Maybe it makes you feel righteous. Or maybe taking on the pain is your way of recognizing the injustice so that even though it won't be made right, it can at least not be forgotten. Then I ask you, again, ask yourself, do you want to be right or do you want peace? Woo! This was huge for me. The unfortunate fact is that having both may not be possible. And also, you may never get your moment of righteousness, so why wait for it? Choose peace. What I know for sure is that in this world, time is a moving on, and it's our most valuable commodity. You can never get it back. So staying in that loop, playing it over and over in your head of hurt, only amplifies your pain. Let it go. Exhale, make room in your heart for something that is uplifting. Surround yourself with people who want the best for you. You have the ability to shift the DNA of your spirit and control how you perceive life. So why not lighten your load and let it go? When we hold on to ideologies, to processes or patterns that no longer serve us, it's clutter that takes us further away from our true purpose and the road to happiness. So I'm encouraging you to spend some time thinking about the things and the people who consume the most of your energy. Ask yourself which of these things feed your spirit, contribute to a more joyful life, and which of the things that do not. And one thing I know for sure is that feelings serve as a GPS for your life. So when you're supposed to be doing something or not doing something, your emotional GPS, your emotional guidance system lets you know. You just have to feel it, listen to it. So spend time examining where your spiritual energy is going. If you're doing things in your life that don't feel right, stop doing that. And by doing that, you're creating more room for the things that give you energy and lift your spirit. And there's some things you'll be able to identify right away as not serving you. What is not serving you now? But others may be trickier. Whenever I've had a hard time, figuring out what my gut is trying to tell me, I have to get still. And when you do this, you let your internal motivation be the driver, and your personal life improves, and so does everything else. If it feels right, move forward. If it doesn't feel right, clear out that clutter. And when you weed out that which doesn't serve you anymore, and conserve your energy for the things that actually feed your soul, you'll live a happier, more fulfilled life. And I think that is something that we're all striving for. What it takes to keep moving forward, regardless of whatever obstacle may be put before you. We've all had obstacles. If you live long enough, you're going to get some. But the key is to be able to lean into whatever lesson that obstacle is trying to teach you. It hasn't always been easy for anybody who remains successful in life. In fact, sometimes it seems almost impossible. But I've said this before. I believe that resilience is the single most important quality that allows human beings to triumph in moments of difficulty. So the no's that so desperately we want to be yeses, they don't have to break us. Rejection hurts, but it's what we do with that rejection that ultimately will be the key to our biggest wins, and in turn, strengthen our resiliency. So if we can get into the practice of thanking the closed doors instead of lamenting the closed doors, Maya always said, say thank you in the worst of times, and trust in the omniscient power to see you through, because God put a rainbow in the clouds, she said.
I believe that when you're fully present, that's when you're actually fully alive. You're clearer, you're more calm, you're not distracted and able to experience all the nuance and wonder of a life more awakened. So when we can just tune into what's just in front of us, life becomes simpler and less crowded with the to-dos, the what-ifs and the why-nots. And when you need to focus on what to do or what to do next, the focus is just that. So deeper human connection comes from that way of operating in the world. And the now becomes your everything. Now, this is what I know, that it's one of the most impactful spiritual practices, knowing the power of now. Because the only moment we all have, you have, I have, is now. Past, already gone. The future, not even your next breath, guaranteed. When crises would show up, or challenges or heavy feelings would start to kind of bubble up, I would then take out my bubbles, blow a couple. And what that did is simply bring me back to my breath. This is what I know, that taking deep cleansing breaths is always a good way to come back into your body in the moment. And if you can't focus yourself, having a bottle of bubbles will do it. We all get the same 24 hours a day. And I don't know about you, but what I'm trying to do is spend my time maximizing the joy.
Practicing. Gratitude. It is my single most important life practice, I have to say. For me, gratitude is something that is necessary and should be practiced every day, because making space for appreciating what you have opens you up for a happier, more fulfilled existence, I guarantee, while ensuring that those blessings just keep flowing. This is the truth. It's a law. What you focus on in your life expands. So focusing on what you're grateful for increases positive vibrations and feelings of joy. Just one good feeling builds on another good feeling and another. And if you actively appreciate all that you have in life, no matter how small it is, what you will notice is that you end up having more. And when you hone in on what you don't have, you never have enough. So being grateful, I've learned, allows us to fill in the cracks and crevices between what we desire and what we already have with positivity. So we can pave the way for grace to show up and lead to an even better life. So how do you make gratitude a habit? For me, the first thing I do in the morning is I read some sort of spiritual enlightenment that allows me to start the day with a positive frame of mind that will only help usher in even more positive energy. many of you, as I have been, as I am, are where you are in your life based upon what you believe. And it's not just what you think you believe on the surface, it's also your shadow beliefs that are holding you back from moving into the life that you believe you deserve. What I know is if you're not looking at the shadows, if you're not looking at what is subconsciously running through the tape in your mind, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough, which is a tape that's playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not out of what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself. You don't become what you want because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. So if you start to think about that, really, why are you where you are in your life? The choices that you have made have been because of what you believe to be true for yourself.